Good morning, and thank you all for joining me here for today's announcement, which will have a significant impact on the City of Rochester, as well as the Rochester Police Department. Given all that has been happening in our own community and across the nation, it is abundantly clear that traditional policing practices must be altered and improved to better serve and protect our citizens. And as a step forward toward making this much-needed change, I am extremely pleased to inform you that I'm appointing Cynthia Harriet Sullivan to serve as the new interim Chief of Police of the Rochester Police Department, effective October 14, 2020. Ms. Harriet Sullivan served the RPD with distinction for 24 years before her retirement in 2009. She will be the first woman in the history of RPD to hold the position of chief. I am confident that she will bring a different perspective and instill a fresh approach to policing, both of which are very much needed in our city, particularly at this difficult time. A native Rochesterian who joined RPD in 1985, she has already proven through her dedicated service that she cares deeply for the well-being of our community and our citizens. She will bring a wealth of experience and knowledge to the chief's position. The last position she held in RPD prior to retirement was as executive lieutenant in the office of the chief. In this role, she took on progressively responsible roles and special assignments, managing law enforcement and civilian personnel, community organizing, quality of life problem-solving strategies, and oversight of neighborhood empowerment teams. Ms. Harriet Sullivan also served as a member of the critical response team that investigated law enforcement in custody deaths, experience that will be beneficial to establishing needed change within the RPD and reestablishing trust within our community. Currently, Ms. Harriet Sullivan serves as RHA's Interim Deputy Executive Director, a role she has held since April of 2019. It started with the organization in 2016, where she's done extensive work in areas of compliance, diversity, inclusion, and public safety. Her career experience also includes service to a number of other organizations, including CEO of Rise Up Rochester, a management consultant at the community-oriented Correctional Health Services in Bethesda, Maryland, and Deputy Director of the National Drug Court Institute in Alexandria, Virginia. Cynthia's ties to Rochester's community, coupled with the invaluable experience she has had in law enforcement, make her uniquely qualified to deal with the many current issues that the city of Rochester is facing. Rochester is her home. She was born and raised here. Her family and friends are here. She knows what it's like to go to school and be educated here and live in city neighborhoods. She is all too familiar with the problems that the city of Rochester faces, but also our great opportunities. And she knows that city residents want the same things that all people want: safer, more vibrant neighborhoods, jobs, and better educational opportunities, the ability to raise their children and watch them grow into adulthood and be treated with dignity, respect, and fairness. She also knows law enforcement. She knows the dangers that officers face and the situations they encounter and have to deal with on a daily basis. And she understands that while there are some long-standing and inexcusable practices within our department, the vast majority of our officers are committed to serving and protecting our city. Because of this, as interim chief, she will have the ability to bridge the gap that currently exists between the police and the people who live in our community. She will make sure that all voices are heard. She will work hard to bring people to the table who have historically felt excluded from making decisions and directly impact them, especially Black and brown people. I believe that Cynthia Harriet Sullivan has the wisdom and creativity to bring both sides together and improve policing and community relations in our city. Please join me in congratulating her and supporting her in her new role as the interim police chief of the Rochester Police Department.
Thank you, Mayor Warren. I got to get rid of one of these cards. I don't have a lot to add to that. So I thank you. Thank you for your confidence in me. I do want to thank my family. My husband's here. Thanks, Norm. Thanks for supporting me always. My daughter, Crystal, who's traveling. She's the independent woman I raised her to be, so I'm appreciative of that. My sisters. And I want to thank Henry and Rosanna Harriet, my parents who aren't here with me right now. But certainly they got a hand in why I'm here before you today, so I really want to acknowledge my family. I do want to thank my pastor, Reverend Simmons, and my Baber church family. They've always supported me too, given me a lot of prayer and guidance when I needed it. And I want to thank my noble family. I'm a member of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. Certainly they played a role in mentoring me, guiding me, giving me support, being on the phone with me when I needed it at tough times. So I just want to thank that group. I can't tell you how often and over how many years they've been there for me. I love this city, and I'm going to give it my 110, 20, 40, 50% effort. Ironically, I left law enforcement because I wanted to have a bigger hand in helping people stay out of jail rather than putting them in that. And so I moved on to roles that help me in dealing with criminal justice disparities. Things like co-occurring disorders and homelessness, and keeping kids off of the school suspension track, because we know those are things that, sort of guarantee that you're more likely to get involved with the justice system. So I'm happy that we're going to have an opportunity to bring that knowledge to bear and really have more support and trying to see that we can capitalize on the resources we can bring to the table to make sure that gets taken care of. So I know these are tough times right now, but I believe strongly that if we all bring our best to the table, we'll be able to get it done. So thank you. Thank you everyone for your support. Thanks again to the mayor, and I look forward to working closely with you on this. Thanks.
Thank you, Cynthia. In addition to introducing our interim chief, I'm also taking this opportunity to announce 2 new appointments to the RPD command staff. I'd like to inform you that Captain Gabriel Person has been promoted to Deputy Chief of Operations. Captain Person joined the Rochester Police Department in 2005 and currently serves as the Staff Chief Officer for the 3rd Platoon. He began his career as a field training officer, quickly rising up the ranks. As a lieutenant, he commanded platoons in both Genesee and Goodman sections. He was promoted to captain in November of 2019. In his current role, Captain Person has been responsible for assuming supervision when command staff is unavailable, including commanding critical incidents and major crime scenes, as well as deployment of personnel and resources. Captain Person is also a veteran, having served for 8 years in the United States Army. Please join me in congratulating Captain Gabe Person on his new assignment with the RPD and welcome him as part of the new command team.
Good morning. Again, thank you, Mayor. I appreciate your confidence in me and putting me in this position. I also want to thank my beautiful wife, Jessica, and my family for supporting me in this transitional role. I also would like to thank my Noble family as well. I'm also a member of the Western New York chapter of Noble, and they've given me great mentorship and guidance to get to this point. I'm truly humbled to be standing in front of you all today and to be given the opportunity to help the city in this challenging time. I'd like to start off with a favorite quote of mine. The person that says that they can and the person that says that they can't are both usually right. I think as this city, as we go forward, I think that we need to remember that quote and be the person that says that they can. We have so much untapped talent in the city of Rochester, to include the Rochester Police Department. We have many great leaders among the community that I'm happy and looking forward to working with in the community to actually help bridge the gap as well as rise to the challenges that we face. Realizing that this is a pivotal time in the city of Rochester's history, I am very proud to be a part of the Rochester Police Department. Furthermore, again, I look forward to working with all members of the community and rising to the challenge that we face to work towards a better future for Rochester and for the police department. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Person. My final announcement for the day is to inform you that Officer Moses Robinson will be moving up to a position in the Chief's office and will become part of the command team. Officer Robinson's new role will involve work in the area of community engagement and violence reduction. He will be a critical part of the community engagement team that is currently being assembled. Officer Robinson has been a part of the RPD since 1985. He currently works as a crime prevention officer in the Community Affairs Bureau, a position he has held for the past 2.5 years. Prior to that, Officer Robinson worked as a school resource officer in the Rochester City School District. He is extremely well known and respected throughout the Rochester community. His love for Rochester and his ability to work with the community, especially our youth, make Officer Robinson a perfect fit for the new role he will play in fostering better relations between the police and the residents that we serve, as well as seeking solutions to end the violence that persists in our community. Please join me in congratulating Officer Moses Robinson on his promotion and for his commitment to helping to build bridges between local residents and law enforcement through enhanced community engagement. Officer Robinson.
Good morning, everyone. Yes. First of all, I want to thank and give all honor to God, because it's truly the reason why that we're here, and we're looking for solutions to the problems that exist. And I think that's truly the answer of us coming together as a people, as a nation, as a community. As a law enforcement officer for 34 years, I've seen the beauty in our community, but I've also witnessed the tragedy. And I strongly believe that at times, law enforcement strategies across the country needs to be reformed, readjusted. We need to now look at a multicultural, multidisciplinary approach to how we do law enforcement. I think Rochester, New York, with our history of revolutionary thought, of change, from Frederick Douglass, Susan B. Anthony, and others within the community of Rochester, New York, that are unsung heroes but unknown, who have been trumpeting this issue of collaboration, of networking. I believe those people, again, we need to pull their resources to the table to address the systemic issues that separate us as a people. I believe that the multicultural, multidisciplinary approach that centers on trauma-informed care in law enforcement as we move forward, that looking at more prevention strategies that help us to and give us a lens, truly a lens, of what we're seeing and what we're dealing with when we come to the community and demographics of Rochester, New York. I look forward to working with the mayor. I look forward to working with our newly interim chief and deputy chief, because I know and have worked with them in the past, and I know their hearts have the capacity to make systemic changes in the way that we approach our people within our community. And I believe that Rochester, New York, and I will give my 110% for this, will change the dynamic of urban policing around the world, based on our cooperation our synergy, and our love for each other, and our love for God. I want to thank you. I want to thank my family for being here. I appreciate you guys showing up, and I hope and pray and will continue to stay on my knees that God will help us, because it's one God, we are one community, we are one people.
Thank you, Officer Robinson. I, like all of us who live and work in the city of Rochester, understand that our community is in need of healing. All of us who are committed to building that healing circle, built on trust, and, as Officer Robinson said, grounded in faith and our hope for a better tomorrow. Today's announcements are part of our commitment to the Rochester community and my commitment to resolving our differences so that we can bring people together for the greater good of each and every resident, for the greater good of our beloved city. Thank you again for coming, and at this time we'll answer a few questions on a topic about today's announcement. Any questions?
New Chief, what would be your first order of business? There's just so many things going on right now when you start in October. What's your priority?
To get acclimated. I'm not one to give comment on things that I haven't done my research on, so I need to reevaluate policies, get to know the staff, look at the organizational structure. So I've got a little bit of homework to do immediately, and then get briefed on any critical matters. So.
Is that happening now? Is it happening now, or does all that have to wait until we officially do it?
No, it's happening now, but it's a lot of information, and I'm going to do it right, so, and be thorough about it, so it's going to take a little time. So definitely before I step into the role in October, most of, not all of it, will be out of the way. So.
Thank you all for coming.